It is far more important to speak well, to have a broad vocabulary, to have natural phrasing, is much more important than the accent. I know lots of people in Canada who are very competent, who communicate extremely well, who give presentations, and who use the language well, but have accents. Not necessarily a problem. Unless, of course, you're difficult to understand. And that's where sometimes people from, say, South Asia, India, they're so convinced that they speak English so well and they speak at rapid fire, and it's actually difficult to understand them. So as long as you're understandable, the question of accent reduction is really a false problem. It's more a matter of the ability to communicate effectively. So it's extremely important that you want to adopt this other accent. So that's number one. And you have to think that you can do it. The more confident you are, the more willing you are. Like an actor, many actors and actresses are very good at imitating other accents because they're used to projecting themselves into the role of someone else. So, as a language learner, you have to try to project yourself into that role. I am now Chinese. I'm not an English-speaking Canadian trying to learn Chinese. I am Chinese. I can do it. The key activity is to listen. I knew an immigrant to Canada from China in his 20s. He'd been in Canada for 3 or 4 years. His English was flawless. I thought he was born in Canada. And what did he do? He listened to a very limited amount of content, like, 15, 20 minutes, 1,000 times. 1,000 times. Now, not many people have the discipline to do that, but that's what he did. I know in my Chinese learning, there was some content that I loved. There were these comic dialogues. I just listened to them over and over and over again, even when I couldn't understand them. But it gave me the rhythm of the language. It worked on my brain, and it helped me in my pronunciation, and particularly, it helped me with tones in Chinese. So, and I also recommend listening at first to the language read slowly, because it's going to be easier for the brain to identify the little sound, the differences in the sounds. So listen initially to a limited amount of content read very slowly, and then start listening to the language read at normal speed. And initially just listen.